Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. I just got done back from a road trip. I went to have Suka bred again. So in about 2 months she should have puppies. There'll be more on that later. I saw an old friend give a talk on the second Exodus. It was good. Got to reconnect with some people I haven't seen for about a month. That was good. But I spent a lot of time driving, a lot of time thinking. You remember, right? On September 11th, 2001, when 2 airplanes flew into the World Trade Center, right? And they caught on fire and they fell down. Building 7 fell down too, right? And then supposedly an airplane crashed in a field in Pennsylvania, and supposedly an airplane crashed into the Pentagon, and a lot of conspiracy theories started bubbling up. And people were saying this and people were saying that, and it became pretty obvious that the powers that be knew more than they were saying. And there's kind of like the constant drumbeat about that. And now, I think, to try and relieve some of that pressure, the powers that be are saying, well, Saudi Arabia is behind it. Boy, there's a news flash. You know about crisis actors? You should Google that, crisis actors. Amazing, right? That one woman with the deep lines right here. Yeah. So people see things that other people don't see, and they're like, hey, it's a conspiracy theory, look at this, it's fake. And there are fake things that happen, there are false flag operations that happen, there certainly are. I mean, historically, and in no particular order, I'm just thinking about it here. The Gulf of Tonkin. You know, only probably half of you were even alive when that incident happened. But basically, we said the North Vietnamese gunboats were attacking our ship, our destroyer or something, and then because of that, we entered the Vietnam War. Basically, you know, that's getting it in a nutshell. And it turns out they never attacked us. We just made it up so we could go to war. The Reichstag fire, right, brought Hitler to power. The USS Maine, remember the Maine! That started the Spanish-American War. Yeah, we probably blew our own ship up. Yeah, very real, you know, very real stuff. JFK. Does anybody think that that little skinny guy is the only one involved? Hold on a second. Yep, I'm down here at the residence. Anybody think that little guy Oswald was the only one involved in that situation? No, everybody knows it. So yes, there are conspiracy theories that are true. There are false flag operations, absolutely. I mean, if you think about 9/11 and how the world, let alone America, changed since then because of that. You think somebody benefited from that? World Trade Center, not the World Trade Center bombing, the Alfred P. Murrah building, right? Timothy McVeigh. I do believe Timothy McVeigh was guilty of sin. I also believe he had a lot of help. So yeah, this stuff goes on, and people spend a lot of time about it, and they say, don't you know it's all a false flag, blah, blah, blah. Here's another reality. Not everything is a false flag, number one. And number two, a false flag just means that somebody else gets blamed for it. And so if bodies be dying, if planes be falling out of the sky, in a lot of ways, at least for those directly involved, it really doesn't matter if it's, Al-Qaeda terrorists or if it's shadowy government agents that are behind it. You end up dead either way. And then the conspiracy theories get floated out there, some of them on purpose, I think, fog, right? So that people start looking at everything as fake and a conspiracy theory. San Bernardino, oh, there was nobody shot. The heck, there wasn't. Stuff like that. And people spin their wheels and they get all up in arms. And some of y'all Really get into it. You know, you watch the Alex Jones channel and you talk about this stuff and it gets you breathless. And did you hear? Did you hear? It's all made up. Hyper emotional people are actually easier to steer, right? You want to win a fight? Get the guy you're fighting mad, right? Because then they don't think too well. And so I caution you. I'm not telling you not to be aware. I'm not telling you not to look for things, not to sharpen your brain and go, that's probably not what it seems. That's fine. But how much psychic energy are you spending on it? How much emotional energy are you spending on it? How much mental energy and physical energy, you know, wah, 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 are you spending on it? And when you're doing that, what aren't you doing? Because here's a very real thing. 9/11. If you did not live in New York City, or somewhere in the little town where that something came down in the field, or right there at the Pentagon, or had loved ones directly involved, you really didn't have a dog in that fight. Not personally. You really didn't. All these shootings that supposedly go on, whether they do or they don't, the riots, Black Lives Matter, you think that's just a grassroots thing that just starts up? If you're not directly involved in these things, you don't have a dog in the fight. And here's something else. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, the riots in Ferguson kind of kicked off what I believe is going to be many, many more riots. But if you're not there, you're not in Ferguson or maybe directly next to Ferguson, you know, it could spread to your neighborhood or something. Man, what are you spending all that energy thinking about it for? Look at your own situation and think what you can do. You know, go work on your garden. Go work on your dog. Go work on this, that, or the other thing. Again, I'm not telling you to tune out and be unaware and go, nothing matters. But I'm just telling you to look at where you focus your energies. Don't get all caught up in the maelstrom of the psychic, you know. That's what they want you. They want you to be agitated. Calm down. Think the big thoughts. Start with you. Start with your circle. Make your circle bigger. Make your circle bigger. And instead of spinning your wheels and getting all upset, start trying to take some positive action. Start trying to do some stuff. Do things. Get out there and do stuff. Do positive stuff. And, you know, it doesn't have to be, well, I put together my body armor and I zeroed my battle rifle. It can be, but that shouldn't be your whole focus. What about I planted some flowers in the front yard so it would look pretty when my wife looks out the window? You know, what about I planted tomato plants because I want to eat some real food, not GMO food, and stuff like that. Be careful that you don't get played. Be careful that your emotions aren't toyed with and things are being done to keep you from taking positive steps. Take positive steps. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. Be happy. Don't worry. I'll see you out there. All right.